Hey, welcome back to the video. It's another video which comes under a series of Angular. So last video we talked about how to set up an environment in your local machine, and the folder structure and a folder thing and folder. I explained what is a folder and what folders are there in a Angular project and what is a file. Let me drink a water. Sorry for this. So that's what we talked pretty much, and in this video it's going to be interesting now because we're going to run our application. We'll start writing code. Okay. So in a few next few videos I'm going to explain you the conceptual wise of our application. After that, let's get started. After we're going to start this application a proper way. Okay. um so till that, so yeah, that's it. Let's get started. So yeah, this is our folder, and this is our browser. So let me use a browser in a proper way so that I can get the good amount of things over here. So yeah, so how to run or how to serve the code, how to serve the Angular project. Let's, it's very easy. So your access to your ng, right? The last class I explained you what is packet.json. In that I made it for a suspense and the scripts, right? So ng, if I click serve, ng serve, it is nothing but it's going to use npm start. Okay, for example, if you let me say ng serve, okay, when I click on, sorry, because I need to get into the, because I'm in Angular, I need to get into the path where my application is. So I need to say like cd news app. So here I can say in this ng is not recognized as a name of pmd. Okay, so npm start, it's not also okay. Cool, not a problem. So stay tuned here. So ng, sorry, cd new news app, and I need to cls, and I need to ng. So here it is accessible, so I don't want to waste your time. Let me ng serve it. Cool, right? So here we need to, the way we are serving, so all we need to write a command called ng with a serve. My application, my system is really slow, guys, so that's why you're able to get the delay, but usually will not get that much of delay. So see that you are getting a compilation now. So there is a two type of compiling. So one is a just in time and ahead of compilation. Okay, AOT and JIT. And let me explain you what is AOT and JIT now, with the proper documentation itself. So I'll be having something called a compilation, right? I don't know where actually it is located. Let me check JIT. That just-in-time compilation came, right? Just in a comparative factory. Cool. So this is a compilation I'm going to say. It's going to implement a compile factory. What is going to do? It's going to, the just-in-time compilation is going to compile each and everything in a proper compilation way, like the code and code wise, and the typical way of about compiling the things. What is something different which I'm going to explain you, and which I'm going to while building I'm going to tell you how it compiles. Definitely good. It's going to be very cool. Okay, so after thing you'll be able to get a message like compiled, and you'll be able to get how much KB you took to mini or start initialize your main. So this 60.6, it varies the way you are writing the code, and how much the priorities will be there. Let's just explain you. So you're done with that, and after that I'll just utilize this. You need to navigate to localhost. So localhost, and the port which is running is so 4200. You will be able to get a brand new application, guys. This is the application which you have created, so don't worry, you are not written any code, but still you are able to see this much of code, just because this is a pre-created code in Angular 9. So you have lots of things. You have a new component, you'll be able to see the new components. It will, if you click on it, and if you click and able to click, it will just let you know what you need to do. So if you want to create a component, if you want to add the Angular material, if you had to add the PWA, that is progressive web app, and if you want to add the directory, also the dependency, you can add ng add anywhere. If you want to add if you want to create a test, if you run the test, if you build the productions. So these are all things. You have a CLI documentation. I click on that, you'll again I'll be getting this. Okay then, so here we'll go be able to get different kind of the way we need to use this Angular application. So I'm not going to use this the default UI. So what I can do, the default UI is coming from this bootstrap component, guys. This is app.component. So I'm going to delete everything except one thing. I just want to show you one thing, guys, because it's quite interesting. Okay, you have something called audit here. Just generate a report. I just want to generate a report here. Why it is taking time? Is it? Okay, cool. So see the thing. So performance, leave it, and but the best practice and accessibility and SEO, and a PWA is also located. So the things are like it's going to be quite interesting. Performance is giving 1 because it couldn't able to load in a proper way. I think the first load was not that good, so now I think I should get some kind of good performance over here, so it will run again for a different scenarios. So I'll be able to get, okay, no, I didn't get anything, so let me improve that performance, don't worry about it. So this is pretty much it, and now we are going to write a live code. Okay, so I have something called I'll be using this much of part for coding and this much part for accessing. This is very cool, right? I really love this way of UI they have created. It's pure material design. Okay, and so that means I have already a material design. So I have circle link and the path, everything is there, right? So I can just start utilizing it. That's it. The card container card, but they have explicitly written everything, right? So for example, okay, just remove it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I need only one thing, that is a router outlet, and that I'll explain you why. So if I remove it, automatically it should change. Before that, it will just try to compile over here. So it will automatically refresh over here. So this is nothing right now. I'll just what h1, I'll use a h1 tag, I'll say hi, and I'll just save it. It will compile, it will be able to show here. So this is a live server you're able to see over here. Okay, so this is pretty much of it, and yeah, that's it. So here I'm going to write a first code, and I'm not going to write anything over here. So I'm going to what's happening. It's okay, it's cool, it's not a problem. So I'll just cd and a new and ng. I'll be able to access. No, it's okay, cool, no problem. So let me close the terminal, and let me get into the actual application, just Angular and news app, and I'll just open a CMD, and here I'll show you how to create a new component. As you know why we need Angular, I explained you why we needed Angular, and how it actually works. It's a singleton application, right? So it will It will unlike loading, you know, the typical HTML pages, it will load a routes, it will load a components. So we need to create a components, right, in that case. So let's create a first component with us. Okay, that is just make sure like ng. I can write a full thing abbreviation, or I can just commonly mention like G. This is nothing but generate, ng generate, and C is nothing but a component. I'm going to create a component name like, you know, so I'll say like login component. Okay, anyhow we're going to have in an application, right? I'm going to say app, and I'm going to say login. So let it's going to be a magic now. When I say something like I'm expecting some error. uh, I'll tell you why. Or it's not throwing error, but I can mention something cool things also, right? It didn't give a error. So comment me if you need that, if you want to know that particular thing what I was going to explain. I'll definitely explain. So the app component is something is a component, and for example I have something called the selector. I'll explain you now what is component, how we're going to use it. So every component, if you see here, the whatever every component you see here, so everything has a one HTML page, one CSS or SCSS, and one spec, that is a, you know, the pure the it and describe, that is test cases page, and after we have something called TS page. So the TS file, which is going to have a annotation called component, it's a decorator. Okay, so why it is needed? Because it will explicitly, it will mention that you have whatever TS file you are writing, it's for a component. So each component, you know, decoratives, it access it involves something called attributes like a selector, template URL. You can mention your own template over here, style URL, so you can mention your own style here. Let me drink some water, guys, sorry. Thank you, and sorry for the disturbance. And you know, that's how it works, and the initial stages. And you know, selector is nothing but we're going to select it as a component. For example, in my case, app login is something but a component I'm going to have. So I can change the selector name also. I'm really not liking the name which has here, so I'm going to negate one app here. So I can select this name, and it's completely left to you guys, like what kind of name you want it. So I'll just go to component, and I'll just put before route. So here I'm going to say app login. See, tada, this is a new component. This is a component loaded in your route bootstrap. Not only that, you can load any kind of components in anywhere in an application by making that in a module wise or a lazy loading. So it's possible, guys. So let me tell you how I can write a code over here. So I'm just going to write a simple login page where I'm going to have one form, and inside a form I'm going to create a form class as a, you know, form. And inside a form I'm going to have something called, you know, div, and I'm going to have a field field set, and inside the div I'm going to have something called, you know, input. So input is going to be a type, you know, file. So this is how it will look. I need to decrease this. I can decrease this to that. Yeah, this is how it will be. So I'll be having input and everything is done. So I'll be having a file here, right? So I need to take turn to text. Okay, I'll be able to get something called text. So let me give some label to the input because I have that in a field set, and so I'll be having something called, you know, the label. It's on HTML file element where I'm going to give a for, it is like username, because for with nothing but it will accept the next field ID, that is going to be a username. Allowed to code, guys, allowed to code. So here I'm going to say your username, and once it is done I'll be able to get username with a field. The same way I'm going to use this field, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to explain here, you know, enough way of password. Okay, I have a something called password. I have something called a password for this, so after have something called, it's for password, and everything is cool. I can negate this ID. It's not at all needed because I have declared already on ID. So yeah, this is how it works, and I need, obviously I need a button. So I'm going to have a button dot btn dot button, primary. I'm not going to give anything now, so I'm going to have something called login. That's it. Ta-da! You'll be able to get this thing, right? I'm not going to give any style, guys, because I'm going to enter into a material design UI. So before that, I'm going to explain something in a Bootstrap itself. So don't worry about that. It's going to be very cool, and it's going to be very easy also. So himmat rakho, guys. It's going to be very cool tutorial if you encourage or if you stay with me. So this is how it looks, and the beauty of this component level is like, this is a component, I can use it as a reusable. For example, in my inside application I have something called different kind of a login. Okay, so in that case I can use a different kind, the twice I can use the login. So for example, in this also, if I give something called like this, I'll be able to get two kind of login, right, which each will act as a different way, because the way how I'm going to access, I'm going to share the data between the both the things, that the way it will work. So in our first level, I'm going to explain you how to share the data between your components in a manner of input output decorators, and after that I'm going to explain with the service, I'm going to explain with the storage, I'm going to explain with the containers and the components. All those things are very cool, guys. It's going to be very cool. So stay tuned for the next video, and this is pretty much about a component, and that's it, guys. So that's it. Bye bye, and please keep studying, and I hope everyone is matured, whoever my audience are, everyone is matured, and they know what is the importance of a study, and they know what is the importance of you know, study in anyone's life. So please, it's a request, if you start something, so make sure you're ending that. Okay, so the most of the time we start something good, but we don't end it in a proper way. I may also do that. I'm starting the videos, but I may not able to end the, I'll go to the till last session, or I'll get this result, right? I may or may not, but the consistency will help you to get into achievement. Okay, so whatever it's, see, so only earning money or getting into better job, it's not an achievement, guys. Whatever you have started, if you finish it, that is nothing but an achievement. This is a small kind of suggestion which I want to give to any one of my students, my colleagues, my family, my lovable ones. Okay, so this is something I just want to share with you. Yeah, so keeping that in a mind, so make sure you're learning in a daily basis. I'll be also releasing the videos in a daily basis, so we can interact with each other and we'll be on the same page. So by saying that, I'm loving this series, I'm loving the way it's getting into, I'm pretty much happy. So thank you, and bye bye.